Introduction to Ethical Challenges in Global Business. As businesses expand their operations globally, they face new and complex ethical challenges. Global business involves navigating different cultural norms, legal requirements, and societal expectations. Companies must address these challenges while maintaining ethical standards, ensuring compliance with both local and international regulations, and respecting the rights of all stakeholders. Globalization has created a more interconnected world where decisions made in one country can affect people and businesses across the globe. As a result, ethical decision-making in global business requires companies to consider a wider range of factors, including human rights, environmental sustainability, anti-corruption laws, and fairness in trade practices. Key ethical issues in global business. 1. Cultural sensitivity and diversity. One of the most significant ethical challenges in global business is managing cultural differences. Different countries have different customs, values, and norms that influence how business is conducted. What is considered acceptable in one country may be viewed as unethical in another. Example: a company operating in a country with a strong tradition of gift-giving may face ethical dilemmas if its employees are offered expensive gifts by local business partners. In some cultures, refusing a gift may be considered rude or disrespectful, while in others, accepting gifts may be viewed as bribery. 2. Human rights and labor practices. Many companies source products from countries with less stringent labor laws, where workers may face poor working conditions, low wages, or even exploitation. Ethical companies must ensure that their supply chains adhere to fair labor practices regardless of where they operate. Example: a clothing company may be accused of unethical labor practices if it sources its products from factories in countries with poor labor standards, where workers are subjected to long hours, unsafe working conditions, or child labor. 3. Environmental sustainability. Global businesses are under increasing pressure to address environmental issues, such as climate change, pollution, and resource depletion. Ethical companies are expected to minimize their environmental impact by adopting sustainable business practices, regardless of where they operate. Example: a multinational corporation that operates factories in developing countries may face ethical questions about pollution control and waste disposal. Even if local regulations are less stringent, the company has an ethical responsibility to implement sustainable practices. 4. Corruption and bribery. Corruption is a significant ethical challenge in many countries, where bribery and kickbacks may be common practices to facilitate business deals. While some businesses may be tempted to engage in bribery to secure contracts, ethical companies refuse to participate in such activities, even when they are a norm in the local culture. Example: a company may face an ethical dilemma when asked by a government official in a foreign country to pay a bribe in exchange for securing a business contract. Ethical decision-making would involve refusing the bribe and reporting the incident if necessary. 5. Intellectual property, IP, rights. Intellectual property theft is a growing concern in global business. In some regions, there may be limited enforcement of IP laws, leading to the unauthorized copying or use of a company's products, designs, or patents. Ethical companies must balance the protection of their intellectual property with respect for local laws and practices. Example: a software company may encounter situations where its products are pirated in countries with weak enforcement of copyright laws. While the company can take legal action, ethical concerns may arise regarding the impact of such piracy on local economies and consumers. Managing ethical challenges in global business. 1. Developing a global code of ethics. A global code of ethics provides a set of guiding principles that help employees navigate ethical issues across different cultural and legal contexts. This code should reflect the company's values and commitment to ethical behavior, while considering the specific challenges of operating in various countries. Example: a multinational corporation might implement a global code of ethics that prohibits bribery, mandates fair labor practices, and emphasizes environmental responsibility across all its operations. 2. Cultural awareness and sensitivity training. Cultural awareness is critical for ethical decision-making in global business. Training programs that educate employees about cultural differences can help them avoid unintentionally offending local customs or violating ethical norms. Example, a company that operates in multiple countries might provide its employees with cultural sensitivity training to help them understand local customs, business etiquette, and ethical expectations in each region. 3. Conducting ethical audits of global operations. Regular ethical audits are essential for ensuring that a company's operations align with its ethical standards. These audits evaluate the company's practices in key areas such as labor standards, environmental sustainability, and compliance with local and international laws. Example, a company with international operations may conduct audits to assess whether its suppliers meet ethical standards such as fair wages, safe working conditions, and environmentally responsible practices. 4. Compliance with international regulations. International regulations, such as the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, FCPA, and the UK Bribery Act, require companies to maintain ethical standards when operating in foreign markets. These regulations prohibit businesses from engaging in bribery and corruption, ensuring that they operate with integrity across borders. Example, a company doing business in countries with high levels of corruption may need to adhere strictly to international anti-corruption laws, even if local laws are more lenient. The role of technology in ethical global business practices. Technology plays a significant role in shaping ethical practices in global business. The rise of digital platforms, social media, and data analytics has made it easier for companies to monitor their global operations and address ethical concerns in real time. 1. Transparency and accountability. Through technology, businesses can use technology to increase transparency in their global operations. Digital tools such as supply chain management software, real-time data analytics, and blockchain technology can help companies track their operations, ensuring that they meet ethical standards. Example, a company may use blockchain technology to track the origins of raw materials and ensure that they are sourced ethically, providing consumers with transparency regarding the supply chain. 2. Leveraging social media for ethical engagement. Social media provides a platform for businesses to engage directly with consumers and other stakeholders on ethical issues. Companies can use these platforms to promote their ethical practices, address concerns, and build trust with global audiences. Example, a company might use social media to promote its commitment to sustainability by sharing updates on eco-friendly initiatives or responding to consumer concerns about product sourcing. 3. Managing data privacy and security. Data privacy and security are major ethical concerns in global business, especially when dealing with consumers' personal information across borders. Companies must comply with data protection regulations, such as the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, in Europe to protect consumer privacy. Example, a company that collects customer data from multiple countries must ensure that it complies with local data protection laws and takes steps to secure sensitive information. Case studies in ethical global business. 1 case study 1. The ethics of outsourcing labor. A US-based electronics company outsources the production of its products to a factory in a developing country. The factory is found to be using child labor, and workers are subjected to poor working conditions. The company faces an ethical dilemma about whether to continue sourcing from the factory or find another supplier. Ethical decision-making. The company decides to cut ties with the factory and find a new supplier that adheres to international labor standards. It also implements a strict vetting process for future suppliers to ensure fair labor practices. 2 case study. 2. Bribery in international business. A multinational construction company operating in a country with high levels of corruption is offered a bribe by a local official to secure a lucrative government contract. The company's leadership faces the ethical dilemma of whether to accept the bribe or refuse and risk losing the contract. Ethical decision-making. The company's leadership chooses to refuse the bribe and reports the incident to the appropriate authorities. The company also invests in ethical training for its local staff to ensure compliance with anti-corruption laws. Summary Module 9 focused on the ethical challenges businesses face when operating in global markets. These challenges include cultural differences, labor practices, environmental sustainability, corruption, and intellectual property concerns. To navigate these challenges, businesses must develop a global code of ethics, conduct ethical audits, and ensure compliance with international regulations. Technology can play a key role in promoting transparency and accountability in global operations, while ethical leadership and sensitivity to cultural differences are essential for fostering trust and maintaining ethical standards.